Righty, I think this is working. I don't know what the hell happened. Some reason started some other streams and then stopped it. I think because I started to use StreamYard, I might have messed things up, but welcome, guys, to the Scar Thumb podcast. Good to see you all there. Kind of a weird thing going on. But all right, so let's get right into it.
As women and women of color, we think about this a lot. Like, we've had these experiences, and so that's why we want to do better.
Yeah, I think it's important to be able to kind of see yourselves in these play experiences, and it's important for the cis males to also see other people out in the world. Like, it's gives you this closed worldview to see no one but the same white males doing the same white male fantasy power fantasies all the time. So they're limited in kind of what they even accept of the world or see of the world. They don't see that these people even exist out there. So I kind of want to ask from the development side, Mitu,
Yeah.
how does this affect developers who are like creating these kind of like sexualized versions of women, or like these like nasty stereotypes and things like that? Because I feel that must have an effect on like a development team who spends months and years like crafting like something frankly gross.
As
Frankly, gross. Hey guys, did you know that minorities exist? Crazy. It's crazy. I didn't know that until I saw them in my video game. That's how I knew. Yeah, that guy just screams sex offender. Yes, he definitely does. You could just tell by the way he's like shaking
Insane
as he talks like, please, I need your acceptance, women. Please accept me.
people.
Frankly, gross. And this is the thing. You had a time in the beginning when it was just, guys creating these cool video games or making cool stuff. It's almost, I don't want to say a hobby, but it was niche. It was a really small community, people like on the cutting edge. They're just, how can we make the coolest thing ever? How can we make this really cool, really knock people's socks off, make a name for ourselves? And then at some point it transformed where liberal activists came in. It had to be, people started worrying about sort of ethical consumption of this sort of art form. We need to make stuff that isn't gross. It isn't gross because, white male power fantasies. We can't stop making these white male power fantasies. We need men to see that people of color exist. This is what sort of video games are being pushed nowadays. These studios and people inside of it are pushing. They want video games to be propaganda for their sort of liberal activism, where white men, I mean, you can see, and I was watching a few of these GDCs. This is a Game Developers Conference, if you're not familiar with it. It's held annually, and it's where they give talks about some stuff's just basic video game stuff, like how to make this or physics or data analysis, and like talks about it, just sort of like trade stuff, get people thinking. And other stuff is also like women in gaming, or this is masculinity in gaming, which is so funny. I mean, this is one of the first times he talked, but the two speakers are women. Masculinity in gaming, these are the people that tell you, you need to talk to people with the lived experience about it. Yet all of a sudden, when it comes to talking about men or masculinity, there's no need for a male speaker. We don't want to hear from men. We have two women to help explain to you what masculinity is supposed to be, or the issues with masculinity in video games. So you had the Gamergate, where Anisa Sarkeesian sort of like shows up, starts talking about sexist tropes, and then games journalists and games developers just fall over themselves like, oh my god, this is so right. We just got done. It was a complete 180 from people rejecting where Jack Thompson was kind of like sleazy lawyer. Jack Thompson was saying that video games cause school shootings, And everyone's making fun of that Jack Thompson, like all the developers, the games journalists. Oh, Jack Thompson, what a ridiculous guy. That's crazy. Video games that cause violence. And then immediately it's like, oh, video games cause sexism. Yes. Oh, video games reinforce harmful hyper masculine tropes. Oh my God, I can't believe it. We need to do something about this. Hey, let's make things worse. Let's make women uglier. We can't have hyper sexualized women, objectifying them. And you know what? So you had all this where like they're saying gamers are dead. We need to move past gamers. This white male, even see him say it.
Also see other people out in males also see in these play experiences, and it's important for the cis males to also see
Cis males,
other people out.
other
in the
people
world.
out. Oh my God, other people.
It gives you this this closed worldview to see no one but the same white males doing the same
White
male
males,
fantasy.
white males with the white male power fan. And this is every games journalist right here. This is the same way they think. White males, white male power fan. We can't have white male power fan. We need a woman of color in our Star Wars game as our protagonist, and she can't be hypersexualized at all. But hey, you know what? How this ends? It ends like this. This is what happens, because turns out you can try to make a game that gets rid of all the white men and the white male power fantasies, but you know what? White males are still the dominant force in gaming, the primary demographic. And, well, when you ignore them, when you specifically make a game that has no sexualization at all, no masculinity, well, you end up with the biggest flop in the history of the world. Here's an update, important update on Concord. I wonder what's happening. Concord fans, we listened closely to your feedback since the launch of PlayStation 5, and I don't think it was the fans that are giving me the feedback. And PC, and want to thank everyone who's joined the journey above the North Star. Your support and passionate community has grown around the game has meant the world for us. That's sure true. However, while many of the qualities of experiences resonated with players, we also recognize the other aspect of the game. Our initial launch didn't land the way we intended, of course. Therefore, at this time, we decided to take the game offline beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. I love this sort of a journalist speak. I should make a neighborhood caddying. Absolutely. That's woman of color right there. That's the lived experience of women of color. It really shows. You got to expand the white male experience. White men don't know about these things. They need to know about these women of color and their experiences. We've determined the best path ahead of Concord. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we'll begin a full refund for all gamers who purchased the game for PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PS5 from the PlayStation Store or the PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued to your original payment method. Customers who purchase the digital storefront will also be refunded. More information about the refunds from Steam and Epic found below. Other retailers come to purchase a physical copy at the retail location outside PlayStation. Please refer to a refund process of a retailer you purchase it from to obtain a refund. I don't know if that's so. It's up to the retailer to give you a refund. That's interesting. Maybe they'll actually tell them like, hey, we'll give you your money back to the retailers. But this is monumental. This unfortunately was announced after the podcast. September 3rd was after the podcast last Sunday. Concord shut, and it's already been shut down. This announced September 3rd, and they shut it down September 6th. They refunded money. They just gave people their money back. This is just how monumentally bad this game flopped. This is incredible, like unprecedented. Hundreds of millions of dollars went into this game, 8 years of development, and it dies within 2 weeks. And not just like, hey, it's just puttering along, making some money here and there. They decided to shut it down. It was so bad. It was so unliked that they shut the game down and gave people their money back. What's amazing is the game itself doesn't look terrible. It was just so people were so apathetic to it that there was just no way for it ever to make money. They just knew it was a complete loss, and they'll probably just write it off as a tax write-off. I don't think it can be salvaged. Where like they relaunch it as free to play a year later or something. The design's so horrible that it just couldn't do anything. But just amazing, absolutely amazing what happened to Concord. And this is when you completely reject the white male power fantasy. Well, guess what? This is what you get when you make just terrible characters that don't hypersexualize or reinforce hypermasculinity. When you're worried about that, when you think your audience, when we moved on beyond the male audience, well, you get absolute failures like this, and they'll try and say that it wasn't this, but like Jason Schreider here, another propagandist for the liberals here, liberal activism. Wild news, PlayStation game Concord has performed so poorly, the company is pulling it from stores and refunding anyone who bought it. Every time a live service game with no hook or strong word of mouth fails to penetrate the oversaturated market, the most annoying people on the planet will be there to blame diversity. Of course, it's not diversity. It was never diversity's fault. It just didn't have a hook. It did have a hook. This is the thing. It had a hook. It was the perfect liberal game. That was their hook. It didn't have any like sexualized women. It didn't have any hyper masculine males. It was totally diverse, full of diverse characters. They hired trans women to play these characters and did like facial, recognition, queer Arab women of color. They had them in there doing their like face recognition. These were real women in their game. That was their hook. But guess what? Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that hook. And of course, they're like, oh, you know what? We're not going to be a predatory live service game. We're going to charge you $40 up front, and then you just pay for for your skins. Of course, the skins don't have any sexuality to them, so you're probably not going to buy them. They don't really look that cool because we've removed any sexuality from any of the characters or the models or any of the skins. So there's really nothing to kind of excite you about it. But, you'll like it anyway because it doesn't have any of that icky, that gross, as this gentleman said. It doesn't have any of that grossness to it. You don't want to play a gross game, right? Well, this game wasn't gross. And this is how it turned out. No grossness, no sales. Of course, Jason Schreider. Let's play some of his greatest hits. Really, really great guy. I already had that. So this is Jason Schreider here saying that Dragon's Crown developer will be out this year for PS3. It features a sorceress, one of the characters from the game. You can see the sorceress was designed by a 14-year-old boy. Perhaps game development studios should stop hiring teenagers. At least they're cheap, I guess. And then, of course, the developer pushed back on him, saying, seems Mr. Jason Schreider Kotaku is pleased also with neither Sorceress nor Amazon. The art direction in which he likes was prepared, and of course, implying that he is gay. A bunch of naked men. This is what he prefers. Good old Jason Schreider. And of course, another one where it's pretty wild that in 2021 a new gaming studio still looks like this. What's the problem, Jason? What's the problem with this gaming studio? Oh, it's just white guys. Oh, that's a big issue for Jason. He doesn't like seeing all white guys. That's pretty gross, as Jason would think. Just to have white men in it. You can't just have that. Because white men are bad, and this is the propaganda that they want to continue pushing onto the video game scene. And it's not just him. He's got lots of friends. This is from the Park Place. After Alan Wake 2 failed to turn a profit, game's senior community manager calls for bigots to be removed from the gaming. That just means white people, really. Whenever you hear bigot, just assume it means white men. That's their coded term here. called for bigots to be removed from the gaming community, or anyone that's not sufficiently progressive enough. In the wake of Firewalk Studios Concord being boycotted and shut down due to low sales, so Daniel Ahmed here, another liberal activist who just spreads propaganda. Comments around Concord from right wing gamers shows the power of collective sits. They're all being deceived, guys. We need to gaslight you. If you say delusional stuff about DEI enough times, build a conspiracy-focused narrative, they start seeing false narratives everywhere. I guess we have to live with this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It totally wasn't diversity. It totally wasn't diversity. That's not why the game failed. That's not why they made the most boring character designs ever. It was just the market. And of course, the underlying emotional response is just standard bigotry and nothing new. Oh, those bigots. They're at it again, except now Griffs are putting a 4-stage act play about how capital owners have gone woke and therefore no longer care about profit, but for some reason. I would love Daniel Ahmed to explain how someone saw the character designs in Concord and thought anyone would be excited for them. Someone please. It's amazing the disconnect where you look at every journalist article related to Concord, and then you go on YouTube and see every video related to Concord where everyone likes these characters suck, how to fix these characters. I used AI to fix the characters. Everyone immediately saw the obvious, that the characters were ugly, uninspired trash. And yet Daniel Ahmed and the rest of these guys need to gaslight everyone into saying, nah, it wasn't the characters, it was just the market. I mean, sure, you could have made the sexist characters, and there's a pretty good chance Concord would have failed anyway, because it just didn't have enough of something different to get people away from, say, Overwatch or Valorant or whatever. But would it have failed so spectacularly? There's no way. I'm convinced that there is no way it would have reached less than 1,000 people if you put traditionally beautiful characters in it. But no, it can't be that. It's just the market. It's just the market. Of course, podcaster Khalif Adams. I've seen the positivity peddler. Yes, he's positive. Positivity just means, again, liberal activism, because we are the positive people. Prune all your garden, push bad actors out, prepare your teams for the current conversation zeitgeist, give your communities and social media teams to dominate and resources to battle against toxicity. Relay on how all of this can impact your bottom line early to investors. Just get rid of anyone that isn't liberal enough. If they're not liberal enough, get rid of them. And of course, this is the lady from Alan Wake. What Ka said, also uplift good eggs. Again, good eggs, just being liberals. Protect and support people who need it. Twitter's never been this full of accounts who are peddling hate 24/7. But it's still where a lot of good parts of the gaming community are happy. Prune your gardens and let flowers grow. Getting bigots out of your community is a band-aid and not a permanent solution. Modeling desired behaviors and championing the kinds of community members you want to be the majority of your community takes time and effort. Still early, practice often. Like how our community is doing, because Alan Wake apparently did not turn a profit, despite these things being so expensive. If you turn people off, the majority of your people off, you just do not get it. You just do not get the amount of money you need. That's the thing, they can't afford to keep on ostracizing people. But they can't do that. They cannot do that. They've convinced everyone that these people are evil, they're bigots, they have no redeeming qualities. You need to get rid of them. Yet, more and more often, they're making these $100 million games, $100 million plus games, like $200 million games. And I don't know if they can keep on affording to piss those people off. They might need to, kind of put in some white male power fantasies. And of course, they go on to say, this lady did not want to work on a game where there was a male protagonist. They wanted to have a female protagonist. Of course, she also saying, she's their community manager, by the way. She doesn't want to promote, and of course, this is sort of the diversity push that she talks about. Something that continues to surprise me about influence management is that while I repeatedly and vocally insist to agencies that they should pitch us diverse creators for paid initiatives, the initial deck proposal I get almost every single time is wall-to-wall white men. Do better. So this just racism, straight up racism against men, white men. They're probably the most popular influencers. They probably have the most reach. But she insists that they need to be diverse. They need to be women. They need to be people of color. White men just will not do. Maybe I'm naive, but it's surprising to me that I still have to say, show me diverse creators, please, in every single brief. I'd expect that in today's media landscape, a diverse range of creators would be given. It's frustrating that it's not. Why is it not the standard that we don't discriminate against white people? It should be standard that happens. Why do we just choose the most popular creators? And it's so funny to watch some of these studies where they're lamenting just how popular white men are on Twitch. Like, oh, the top 20, it's all white men. Why? Why were they the ones that took the risk and made the platform as popular as it was? We got to get them out of here. We got to get them out. We got to get the white. Why are there so many white developers? Oh, this is also funny. Where she comes down and talks about, let's see, where was it? Was it her that said it? I couldn't. Or did I miss this part? No. I thought this was on it. Oh, yeah. Well, I say this with all respect to my fellow devs and hope they come to the space with good intentions in their hearts. But to me, the what a game dev looks like hashtag might not need quite as many white men participating. We know that's what a game dev looks like. Oh, why does game development have so many white people in it? What a just, again, straight up racism, just sort of disguised as diversity. This is what they keep pushing. And then we have, this is the article I wanted to get into. The journalists here, this Paul Tassi for Forbes. This is what journalists do now. Their job is to promote this propaganda. And I'll get into this. I wrote a Substack about it. I'll try and link the Substack in the description. But this is so I wrote about it. But you'll see this is an interesting article where he tries to. Well, I'll go into it. Let me take a drink and we'll go into it. The woke war, why the right believes it dominated gaming and TV in 2024. So there's been a lot of failures recently and a lot of success for these games that appeal to men. And what Paul Tassi needs to do is kind of get rid of it. He needs to explain it away. So what he tries to do is create this binary. The success of anti-woke things are claimed as scalps, whether it was actually the intention of the work or not. Failures of woke things are purely because they're woke, not any other reason at all. Ignore all other factors. This happens every time, and it's added them all up here to show what's going on. Prepare the cope and seethe, as they say. So he's creating the straw man where these right-wingers are stupid. Every time that there's a woke game, it failed because it's woke. Every time there's a game that it succeeds, it succeeded because it's not woke. And so this is what he. But the problem is, he's not gonna defend, or he won't accept any sort of right-wing argument or clear people pointing things out that are clearly correct. But he's hoping that if he presents this perception that there was a woke version of the Arkham universe in which characters like Harvey Quinn were more conservatively dressed than previously, and there was things like pride flags hanging from headquarters. So he wants to say this had nothing to do with the success of the game. Make it Harley Quinn uglier or not as hot, and then Sweet Baby Inc. was involved. that, that didn't piss anybody off. That didn't make anyone turn off of the game. That's just crazy. And then he'll present reality. This is reality. He's not going to defend that or push back on that. You're not going to do anything to reinforce his point that this isn't true. He's just going to present his own truth and hope that you'll fall for this sort of like logic trap that because he's presenting something else, that what he's presenting is true. And just this is just perception. Here's reality. It failed mightily because it's a live service game after Rocksteady had made its entire fan base devoted to its single-player superhero offerings. It's a goofy concept, giving all the Task Force X the same guns. And, of course, this stuff is true enough, too. That, getting Captain Boomerang a gun might be a little bit weird. Or, like Deadshot, it fits. But what about these other characters? They've really been known for guns. Supposedly, woke critics scored the game a 60. And this also thing, hey, we hated it too. And we're woke, so that must mean the game wasn't really woke. It wasn't woke enough if we hated it, right? That's another like logic trick. Of course, Concord, Perception, a hero shooter that failed because its heroes were not attractive enough. That they were virtual signaling by putting in pronouns in their select screen. And then, of course, that's not, again, he won't push back on this at all, that the heroes were boring. He's just going to state reality that somehow fight, that's the word I'm looking for. Somehow that contradicts this. This reality will contradict this perception. Just stating that it was a $40 first-person shooter in a free-to-play landscape and didn't do anything. Its character designs were poor, but not for hotness reasons, but because of lacking aesthetic that other games with plenty similar-sized and aged characters has done much better. That's, again, not true. Supposedly woke critics, again, wow, we didn't like it either, so it must not be good. He uses, like, the Acolyte, which I don't know anything about the Acolyte. Woke series. Essentially no white characters, focused on cool space switches, at least a pair of which were lesbians. Showrunner was a lesbian and wife in the show. Series broke canon, and then reality it's cost $100 million to make, which is, again, here's the reality. It just cost too much to make, and not enough people watched it. It wasn't the fact that they turned people off by like having a bunch of people of color and women as the front of the show, even though most of the fan base is, again, men. And then, of course, this was the worst one. Honestly, this was the absolute worst one. So this is Perception. This is the fake reality gamers have created here. This game, for Stellar Blade, the game was a big hit for AAA newcomer Shift Up because it embraced the idea that real gamers want attractive women in their game, and they were provided plenty of fan service outfits to fulfill that desire. But here's the reality. Stellar Blade is a solid action game and on the whole, and was reviewed well among game journalists, drawing up to an 81 on Metacritic and hailed as a great first effort for Shift Up. So how does this contradict anything about it doing well because of fan service? And this is what can he just not admit that Stellar Blade did well? The whole reason Stellar Blade did well is because of fan service. It's what set it apart. It was its hook. Shift Up is known for Goddess of Victory Nike, where the hook of that game is that you get to watch girls' asses bounce as they shoot guns. They're literally a gacha game maker. Their entire existence relies on them sort of making women products, selling women as products. Like here's this new operator for you. She has a giant ass and big boobs. This is what the characters are about. This is entirely what Shift Up's on. So he just totally wants to erase the actual reality with his own reality. Yeah, it was just a good game. People just read Playboy for the articles. It's not because it's full of hot characters. He does the same thing with Helldivers. It's about killing bugs and bots without woke agenda. It's a celebration of patriotism that the left fails to embrace in the modern era. And they're it's Starship Troopers, guys. You need meteor literacy, blah blah blah. And it was a good game, and people have some problems with it now, but it was just a fun game you could play and enjoy. But here's what Paul misses in all of this. Again, he tries to say First Descendant. Look, this is what Paul is playing First Descendant. This is what First Descendant has in it. He bought this skin, by the way. So he doesn't believe this. He doesn't even believe this crap. PvE shooter is full of attractive women, which is responsible for its surging popularity, and its live service plan has so far introduced more attractive women to assure its ongoing success. This is what they're selling as a skin, by the way. This is what they're selling as a skin. Look at that ass. So this reality, the game succeeded mainly because it's a well-structured looter shooter. Yep, totally doesn't have anything to do with this. Totally doesn't. This isn't why all of their marketing. Hold on a second. Let me get on the First Descendant. Let me find their First Descendant on Twitter. Let's see how they're marketing this game. It's got to be the looter shooter. It's just the solidness of the looter shooter. Let's see. First Descendant. Yep. It's just the solidness of it. Solidness of this looter shooter aspect of it. Yep. It's not the fact that all of this. I like this. Yeah. All of this. Oh, you can get a diner set. Oh, you can have it as a schoolgirl, a maid. None of this stuff is. We're not marketing women here. Not at all. Not at all. We don't have like a giant ass in like every single one of our stuff. Yeah, totally. It's just a solid looter shooter. The own developers don't even know what they're talking about. This isn't about that. And Wukong Games Media wanted this game to fail. Again, they did push articles about sexism. This is 100% true. And its success is a blow against the woke agenda. I don't know about that, but whatever. It's absolutely crushing massive hit in China, where no one is considering any of these controversies when purchasing. It also did well in America, too. That's what he doesn't want to admit. It sold well over here, and it did insanely well in China, which is a huge market that I don't think everyone always taps into. But yeah, this is what they got to make. This goalposts again. Baldur's Gate, the wokest game on planet Earth, won with scores Game of the Year, but it's not really woke because, after all, it has attractive characters in it, and that totally means it's not woke. This is the issue Paul doesn't get. He wants to create this straw man, but like, if the game appeals to men, then it's going to be good, or at least it's going to do okay. This is the problem with stuff like Concord, is that it didn't want to appeal to men at all. Or a game, or like a show like The Acolyte. Like, if you don't appeal to men, or you actively, like Suicide Squad. Like, oh, I don't think I prepared it. Let's show you this is Mrs. Freeze from Suicide Squad. Actually, I think I might have actually did I prepare that? Let's see. Mrs. Freeze from does this look like it's going to sell to men at all? Having shit like this? Does anyone want to play as the lesbian dyke Mrs. Freeze? This is what he's trying to say. Like, he desperately doesn't want this to be the truth. That if you appeal to men, that you actually, or like if you don't, then your game succeeds. On the other side, games claimed by anti-woke players like Stellar Blade or First Descendant are no way owned by them, and either reviewed well among supposedly woke games media or have player bases far more expansive than those who are playing it because attractive characters exist in them. Sure. That's, again, he wants to say stuff that's like probably true. Like, yeah, I'm sure women enjoy it too. But they probably enjoy sexy women as well. Or at least, want to pretend they're sexy women. They want to inhabit that role. The fact is, Stellar Blade and First Descendant are games that market to men. They know what they want. When they put on trailers like Haley or something. Some of their new stuff. Let's see, the first Descendant. Let's get this Descendant Haley trailer. Here we go. Let's see. Is this it? Huh. Like they know specifically what men want. Or I think it was their seasonal trailer. Let's see, first Descendant Season 1 trailer. Yeah, here we go. Let's see how this starts. Oh, that's a woman's ass right in front of their trailer. Huh. I wonder who they're marketing this game to with that. I wonder who could be the target demographic for this game. But yeah, it's not for them. It's definitely not it. Anti-woke players, yep. It's not for those anti-woke players. It's no way owned by them. The truth is it's a far more what audience is this made for, huh? I wonder. But Paul, keep deceiving yourself, Paul. He hopes other people will believe him, but the reality is it's pretty obvious who this game is being marketed to and who's playing it. And even he's playing it. Here's the thing. I think in the back of mind he knows it. He knows it too. Like this is him. Of course, he's first Descendant. Summer Vanessa's final shape is sexy costume crowd. There's nothing left, just nudity, just a nascent chick walking around with guns. Mission accomplished. He knows what it's for. But he has to keep on gaslighting people. It's not for you. It's not for you, you chuds. This is for a far more expansive audience than just men. Totally. You keep saying it, Paul. You keep saying it. All right, let's see, did I get out of order here? And of course, we need to keep on pushing it. Here's Paul again. This is Mischief here, another like kind of activist type on YouTube. Is this the ugly and woke Star Wars Outlaw protagonist I'm meant to be outraged by? And like, she looks fine. It's whatever. This is Cave S. And of course, it's apparent from the moment they took one of the weird screenshots in a preview and built an entire narrative around it. This is what we call alloy syndrome. And of course, this is the sort of ugly, on the left here is sort of the ugly screenshot. And this is, she looks okay from the side view. But of course, you could just, use, by the way, Cave S, I've never seen a screenshot of her smiling. Every time they show her off, woke or unwoke person, she's never smiling at all, which is kind of weird. And of course, why don't you just you could just Google it. Let's see. How does she look in this? Oh, her face looks fat. Oh, her face looks fat in this too. This is from Wired. This is from the wiki. Of course, Reddit. Oh, here's another wiki shot. Again, her face looks fat. She does not look good in any of these pictures. Poor Paul. People have Google. It's just a weird screenshot, guys. Show me one where she looks good. Like, what the hell is going on with her face? The only one is like the AI generated stuff where she looks kind of all right. What is this? Is this a real screenshot? I hope not. I think it is. Good God. Good God. Again, this must be a doctored screenshot where she she looks like a man practically. The Nick Avocado. I love this. I love this picture. Of course, now Nick Avocado isn't fat anymore. We can't use a comparison. Wokies can't even sell sex, and sex sells. Exactly. But keep pushing. And then, like, this is the sad thing is when you look at this is the actual actress that's based off of. Again, she's smiling, kind of like has a little like wry smile. Boobs are out, like damn, some nice cleavage, looking good here, poking the ranker in the eye. But you know, this is what you get instead. You can't have her be attractive, conventionally attractive like this. We can't have this. This KVS would have been attractive, but instead you get this KVS, which is, you know, again, she's not hideous. She doesn't look anywhere near as bad as Alloy, but again, not good. She's not conventionally hot. She's not made to appeal to men. When again, it's so weird. The actual actress that they based the face model off of is conventionally attractive. They had to actually go out of their way to make her look uglier. It's amazing, but yeah, don't worry. Nah, she's hot though. Her and Alloy super hot. What's wrong with people? What's wrong with you guys? And then, this is the other part of it, where hat tip to this Nick Tech, where the Alloy Chan exactly, where you have it's not just her character and how she looks. They had to make sure like everything about her was stupid, totally unattractive. Like, look at this shit. These takedowns are ridiculous. Boom, one-shotted. You get, she's like Mike Tyson here. I speed it up. Boom. Again, just damn, right on the chin. They just stand there and she just clocks them. This is supposed to be like a small girl. She's against, you know, against the odds. And apparently she's just the greatest boxer on the entire planet. This is so lazy. Look. Oh, throws him down. Boom. Again, another one shot. Holy moly. I compare this stuff to like these takedowns look like Batman should be doing them. Honestly, like a 300-pound man. They couldn't do anything to make her look smaller or, you know, more vulnerable. No. She's a woman of color. She can't look vulnerable. She can't be cute. She can't have like any sort of femininity involved in her at all. She is just this is the dumbest takedown ever. Like literally just grabs the guy by the head. Grabs him by the head and just throws him to the ground. Boom, just slams him. Yeah, maybe she did take, I haven't played the game, so maybe she did take super soldier serum. And she's just super strong. Just slams the dude head into the ground, which provides zero protection for the head. And then here, the guy, he's wearing helmet again. Boom, right on the chin. You're just out. Out, baby. My hand's not broken at all. Knockout. Straight knockout punch.
Sector's a little too...
Whoa. What's gonna happen? Boom! Take that.
Noises over here.
I'm surprised she didn't right hook the walker too. She should do that. And of course, good job on Nick Tech here for here's a game where they're actually trying to make these things look, I don't know, like semi in character realistic.
That's nothing. Keep looking.
This is Splinter Cell. This is a guy that's, you know, a soldier, highly trained soldier here. Best of the best. Why didn't he right hook the guy instead and just knock him out? But again, like he stabs him in the neck and then cuts and then, you know, slashes his throat. Again, another like stab in the neck, bring him down so he can't scream, like, and he's dead. Stab in the neck. So like these takedowns actually look, you know, like he's a soldier. He's not trying to like knockout punch them. He's, you know, silently assassinating them because that's what he is. He's like an assassin, super stealthy assassin guy. They actually put some effort into making him seem part of this character. And, you know, of course, you can make the argument Star Wars Outlaws isn't supposed to be this serious of a game. I guess. Maybe not, but, like, what sense does this shit make? There's, like, zero effort put in these animations and takedowns that make her, that reinforce her character other than the fact, like, that she apparently the greatest boxer on Earth. Or in the universe, really. There should be one where she fights Jedis and just punches them in the face and takes them down. That would be good. I hope that happens in the game. Like, oh, it's just Darth Maul pops up and just right hooks him, knocks him out. The greatest hands in the universe here, K-Vess. But it's apparently, despite all these great animations. Oh no, I did want to show. There's something else that was funny. The AI was funny, but I need to show another part for this. I forgot. Oh, here's K-Vess fighting enemies. Look at this. Boom. Power fist. Soldiers, no problem. Bam. Fist of Fury. K-Vess. Greatest hands on the planet. Take it down. 4 guys unarmed. Just bat, 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 bat. I guess you don't need realism in video games. That's not a requirement. It just looks stupid. Again, there's nothing feminine about her. That's just the irony of a lot of this, like, diversity stuff, is they just take away any sort of female characteristics and just, this is stuff like if you had like a male protagonist, they would do. And it's perfectly fine. She's just, again, it's just like a gender swap of a male character. Boom. She's in the game. It's the laziest you can get. Let's move on. But apparently Star Wars Outlaws isn't doing as well as they hoped. Despite the greatest marketing campaign ever, Ubisoft stock tanks to 10-year low after a lukewarm Star Wars Outlaws launch. Huh. When it's punched easily through a chick's pure fists. Ubisoft prices have tanked over 10% in the past 2 days following a lukewarm reception of Star Wars Outlaws. At the time of writing, Ubisoft Entertainment SA stocks prices are 1550 euros, a level not seen since September 2014. Damn. The stock price puts the company's market cap at just shy of 2 billion euros. I think at 1.99 billion. Stock prices follows the release of Star Wars Outlaws, which released to a mere 4.9 user score out of 10, according to review-accurate Metacritic. As a result of their tepid response, led J.P. Morgan to slash sales forecast by 2 million units, predicting 5.5 million units sold by March 2025. Combine a slash in sales with any heavy licensing, it's not hard to see why investors are skittish on the company's immediate future. Wow. Of course, they go on to mention X-Defiant isn't doing that well, which, I think I covered a little bit before. This was the one that Nade Shot was saying, oh, you gotta be fair to it. And of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows, still investors remain optimistic about the publisher's future with the game set to release on November 15th. Assassin's Creed Shadows will be crucial for making this financial year a financial success, or this fiscal year a financial success, despite the game already seeing its fair share of online discourse. Again, that's not good. This isn't good if Assassin's Creed Shadows is the linchpin you put it on. Online discourse, our sources suggest its pre-order numbers are strong, though I have also seen some people saying, like talking to retailers, saying that its pre-orders are not strong. But we shall see. Assassin's Creed Shadows, yeah. I don't think it's going to do that well, to be honest. I have a feeling that it doesn't seem to have a lot of hype, a lot of discourse around the whole, Black Samurai thing. I just don't see people like it being a blowout success. It'll do okay because just like Star Wars Outlaws, I think probably will do okay. But this is the issue. If you turn off like so many men with a game like this, they're not going to buy it. You just aren't going to have a breakaway success, especially considering the risk that you're taking here by putting so much money into the game, so much marketing. Will it make a profit? Like maybe, but it's not going to be anywhere near the amount that they're going to want to make. Take another drink here. Oh, damn. We're going late. There was some other big news that coming out of Star Wars Outlaws. So, Star Wars Outlaw patch 1.00.02 is stranding some PS5 players in space, forcing them to start new saves. Hefty Star Wars Outlaws update coming in at 8.5 gigabytes was released on PS5 last night, bringing it with a 50 FPS mode and bug fixes. But it caused problems for some PS5 players who've already made progress in the Ubisoft Sandbox Star Wars game. So what happened here? The wake of the release of the patch, Ubisoft sent the following message to some players warning them that they may encounter issues with current saves if they were playing an older version. The best experience, the Outer Rim, we rolled out a maintenance to make sure everyone is playing the latest version of the game. As one of the players affected who have access to an older version of the game, we are aware you might be encountering some issues after this recent patch. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Once you confirmed you have the latest version, please start a new save to fully enjoy Star Wars Outlaws as our team intended. It will continue on a prior save. You unfortunately face issues and ongoing progress blockers. So the thing is, people paid money, actual money, to get early access to the game. I think it's like $30 to play the game early. And now they had to release a patch and told you, you know, that progress you made that, you know, you paid like $30 for? Ooh, yeah, you're going to have to start a new game. Oh, I just got this email this morning. I wish I knew that before. I played 5 hours last night. One Reddit user said, honestly, this game is testing my patience. Adding insult to injury, the Star Wars Outlaws is still in early access period, meaning the PS5's players who have access paid more than $100 for the Gold Edition release. In effect, players are paying extra to get early access to ride when it's still in a construction zone. This is just amazing. And this is one of the issues with early access, is that, A, you're paying extra, and these games aren't even done yet. And then, of course, but, you know, wait, Ubisoft made good on it. Don't worry. Ubisoft gives annoyed Star Wars Outlaw PS5 players who paid to play early, but lost all progress, a trinket and some loyalty points. No one wants. This is from IGN by Wesley and Poole. Following this week's Star Wars Outlaws update that forced some players to restart the game, Ubisoft has offered a make good and an in-game trinket and some loyalty points. There's already the announcements. Players can play they're forced into losing hours of progress through no fault of their own. A loss made worse by the fact that it occurred during the early access period, which reserved for those who paid more than $100 for the Gold Edition. Now Ubisoft has offered a makeup good to affect players in game, a Trailblazer trinket, and 100 Ubisoft Connect units. These units are Ubisoft Connect loyalty points, which can be used on in-game rewards and Ubisoft Store discounts. Here's some store credit, guys. These units are already being called worthless by some disgruntled players. I lost 15 hours of progress. Well, I explored a lot and took my time. Today I was forced to start over, and I rushed in 6 hours to nearly the state I was before. Yes, it sucks that they couldn't just release a hotfix. Yes, the compensation for it is laughable. At least they could have given us some materials to upgrade our vehicles and the blaster a little faster. But the game is still fun. I hope no other game-breaking bugs appear. Yes. This is one of the issues with early access that I wanted to talk about. But you know what? It's really going to be the standard here. This is from Delta169 on Twitter. Big numbers today for the people that paid extra. And you look and see 130,000 people just on Steam. They all paid the extra money to get early access. And this is going to be standard in almost all these games. So it's like with early access, the game devs, they want to get more money for the game. But unfortunately, the problem is $60, $70 is kind of industry standard at the moment. And if you just try and charge more for the standard thing, people get pissed. It's a real risk to your sales if you do that. So what do? Hey, you could create, these collector's editions for the stuff. You could offer extras, a little bit of DLC or some little like other thing, a little skin that you get if you charge more. But one of the easiest things to do that requires almost no work is just release the game early. Hey, you get it 3 days earlier. You get it, 4 days, maybe even 1 day in the case of Visions of Mana. You get it 1 day earlier. We'll just release it earlier. Of course, one of the issues is that these games aren't even done when they're released. So you have, this sort of like worst case scenario here with Ubisoft where the people lose their save progress and have to start a new guy. And of course you give them, just dog shit as compensation for the extra money they paid. Your hard-earned money? Who gives a shit about that? Here's a medal and some Ubisoft points. Have fun. But it just, again, I think that for the early access to this, you got to pay like $90. It's like $30 extra. Let's see, Steam Store, Space Marine 2. Let's see, if you want the Advanced by Gold Edition, you can play the game now, ahead of the full release. Yeah, $90 if you wanted to get the game early. So an extra $30 to pay a few days early. And, dude, people are 100% willing to pay it. I mean, Space Marine 2 looks like a really good game, but I was not willing to pay $30 extra. I think you can get it early if you go through the EA store. They have like some exclusivity deal. It's just just an easy, essentially it's easy money at this point if you make a game that, has some hype around it. A game that looks decent enough to actually that people want to get it early and like cover it early as part of their YouTube channels or TikTok channels. I've seen some people calling it the sort of like content creator tax, an extra $30 to pay it early. And again, I think this is unfortunately going to become standard going forward because it's just such an easy way to make an extra $30 off, like the super fans and people that really want to play it right away. Maybe like lack of self-control. So this is what it'll be. Unfortunately, you got to make sure your game actually, works. Which, again, in the industry, not always the way things work out. But let's, oh man, I got so many. I knew I had more. I mean, it's covered the Minecraft movie. You know what? I'm about to skip Risk of Rain. Let's go into, last thing I'm going to do is go into the Minecraft movie. Rocksteady, layoffs. Oh no, I'm so sad Rocksteady went out as layoffs. Oh no, I feel so bad for Rocksteady. I wonder why they got laid off. They had so many, their priorities were so straight here. Oh, is this from Suicide Squad where Harley Quinn's painting a gay pride flag on it? Huh. I wonder why that game failed. It wasn't because of diversity. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. It was just bad marketing. Bad marketing. But let's look at this. The Minecraft movie. The trailer came out. Here's the teaser. It was released. Let's take a look at it. start off with some movie music. No need for Minecraft music. Who needs that? And what? And look at this. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, that sheep looks stupid. Ha ha ha. That's so funny.
What the hell?
Oh, Sassy Black, what the hell's going on here? That's exactly what I want in my movie. Let your imagination run wild. Boom, look at Jason Momoa. He looks... Jason Momoa looks gay.
You can dream about here, you can make.
Look at... Oh, no, a creeper. Look at his... He got a dumb face. He's about to get blown up by a creeper.
Who are you?
I
am Jack Black wearing a blue shirt. Oh, wait, no, it's Steve. What the... Oh, this was actually the worst part of the entire trip. It's literally Jack Black wearing a fucking blue shirt. Steve. Was that guy holding the Tesseract?
okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
He's such a tool. The Minecraft movie. Again, no need to have Minecraft music in it at all. Oh, he looks dumb. Oh, what's happening? Bunch of pigs run by him. No, I'm just dumb, so... Comedy. Comedy here. So this came out. It looks... People... some people didn't like it. The Minecraft movie, this is by Paul Tassi here. The Minecraft movie trailer blows past 1 million dislikes. Whew. Not doing too well. The Minecraft movie trailer just attracted more than 26 million views on YouTube in 3 days. It also garnered a fully underwater ratio of likes to dislikes. That would be 175,000 to 1.1 million. And this is truly not often it is truly not often you see something like this cross a full 1 million dislikes. It's representative of how terribly the Minecraft trailer was received online, channeling a bizarre blocky, not game blocky animation style for its Minecraft world, with I have no idea how to pronounce that word. Holistic cast slapped on by a very obvious green screen, including Jason Momoa with the strangest haircut you've ever seen. The most meme-worthy part of the trailer is the appearance of Jack Black as Steve, the main character of Minecraft, where he simply looks like everyday Jack Black in a blue shirt. It's his now signature wild hair and gray-streaked beard. It's also bizarre, now given Jack Black voicing Bowser in the Super Mario movie, Black voicing Claptrap in Borderlands movie, and him playing Steve in the Minecraft movie, this public is soured on his non-stop game adaptation appearances. And of course, he's got to add his own little libtard plus. There was a whole thing about him selling out his longtime partner, Kyle Gass, over his political views. Oh yeah, he's got a. Of course, I thought it was a pussy move by him too, considering he's also a liberal. But whatever. So, but this guy, I think, kind of nailed the reason why I think a lot of people are disliking it. And I'll read from him. The thing about the Minecraft movie trailer and why it feels wrong, I think the issue isn't just that it's cringe. It's that it's taking something genuine and earnest and making it self-referential and incredulous about itself. Minecraft is a quiet, earnest game. You drop in an empty world, cut down trees, build a house. The house is lopsided and a little funny looking, but you made it, and so it matters. The game doesn't point and snicker behind your back. Hey, get a load of this. Sheep in Minecraft aren't meant to look weird. It's just what they look like. Your name is Steve, and you run around exploring a vast world, and somehow it makes total sense that that your name would be Steve. It's not some joke. There is no punchline. The Minecraft movie looks like someone heard of Minecraft, heard that kids like it, and assumed that it was like Fortnite. That's not it. kids like Minecraft because it's a game that you take seriously. You could be an architect or an explorer, or dig a giant hole, or build a contraption, or whatever you want. The world has depth, literally and figuratively. That's what makes it compelling. It's comfortable with the mystery, too. Not everything is explained. When I think about Minecraft, I think about being deep underground, exploring a vast cave network, alone, then hearing the first soft notes of a familiar piano tune. I don't think the movie will be like this. Minecraft, the game, ends with an 8-minute scrolling poem before the credits roll. It's a little Reddit, a little 2011, but it's sincere. I can't imagine something like this in a modern Hollywood project. And that is really the issue. Like, in conclusion, and then he says, like, Steve should have been played by J.D. Vance, which is kind of funny. It does, I don't know, the face does look, I think it could fit. But that's the issue with this Minecraft movie, is that it just does not look like anything. The thing is, like, players genuinely enjoy Minecraft. They want a movie that's going to represent the actual game, the intellectual property, like what the essence of Minecraft is. And this isn't it. You know, Microsoft owns the IP, and they basically just turned it into like a brand for kids because they want their money. So, I mean, like, again, players will probably skip the movie, but, you know, it may be popular enough, just have enough, you know, popularity among children that parents are going to be, you know, take them to see it. There's probably enough kids that will, like, look at the sheep and think, ha ha, it's funny. But again, for players that played Minecraft, the world itself is genuinely beautiful. They've had moments where, like, they just exploring and they see, like, the forest and some flowers and, like, this really cool looking, you know, mountain. I think, wow, this is genuinely a beautiful game. And then you look at this movie and you see it clearly does not take this world seriously. It's not a world of wonder or beauty. They turn it into a joke. And then you have these, like, I have no idea why the adults are here. Like, I was talking to my brother about this. Like, if it was just, you know, two kids sort of, like, make their way through a portal and, like, they have to explore this, like, sort of world of adventure and mystery. And, you know, maybe, like, you know, Steve shows up and helps them, and they got to, like, discover their sort of, like, childlike imagination and creativity, you know, to make save this sort of Minecraft world. That would be cool. And, like, maybe that is the general theme of the movie that they're trying to go with, but they do it in such a mocking way that it doesn't, and I assume this sort of, like, glowing thing he's holding is like some sort of MacGuffin, that it just ruins it. Why Mojang? I guess maybe Mojang doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't know. But it's so sad to see an IP that is, again, genuinely enjoyable, genuinely beautiful, just turned into a joke. But you look at, and, like, hat tip to Beanin for turning me on. You look at this, this is Bedrock Edition. This is what Microsoft wants to make Minecraft now. Where you got Minecraft, you got the little thing on the side, stand up for equality in your community. So you have, you know, the sort of propaganda that they've thrown into it. I mean, if you look down here, 2 plain buttons, but oh, what's excited and animated here? Oh, what's going to catch your kid's attention? Oh, maybe it's the marketplace button with a giant freaking phoenix flying on it. You go to the dressing room. No, you can get all sorts of cool skins and stuff. Oh, but you got this rainbow hat. Imagination. Yeah, sure, it's not let's not push gay propaganda on people. Oh, you can be SpongeBob. You have a SpongeBob hat. It's only cost, you know, $2 or whatever. $3. So just constant microtransactions. You can get all sorts of, again, $2 for this, $2 for that. You've got an entire marketplace, that shiny animated button. This is what Minecraft is now. Just a way to like nickel and dime kids for money. You know, turn your children into pay pigs for Microsoft's bottom line. It's just such a fall from grace for an IP that was, again, genuinely beautiful, genuinely about creativity and exploration. A genuinely good game that's just being diluted into microtransaction garbage. But where's the imagination in this crap? Like, where they just, here's a new, I mean, they had like in like new alligators and all this stuff. And I'm not gonna insult the people making the mods, but again, this is what Minecraft is now to Microsoft, and it's genuinely sad to see. But some people are gonna defend it. Good old John Walker here from Kotaku. Sorry, guys, but the Minecraft movie isn't meant to be for you. The new trailer revealed a movie that's going to delight its core demographic, and that ain't you. As the Minecraft movie trailer broke yesterday, the internet was immediately abuzz with cynicism and disappointment as adults across the world simultaneously expressed one thought: who is this film even for? What almost every single one of them forgot is that they're not 9-year-olds. 9-year-olds. My son is a 9-year-old, turning 10 this month, loves Minecraft as much as pretty much any other kid his age. He has Minecraft t-shirts, watches endless hours of other people playing Minecraft on YouTube, and is currently mostly obsessed with the so-called parkour modes when playing the game himself. He builds elaborate castles, littered with, I'm incessantly informed, are 3-block jumps, moving around with deftness I couldn't hope to achieve on my PC, yet he manages on a touchscreen on his tablet. He, I'm sorry to tell you, is Minecraft's target. Exactly, it is Minecraft's target audience now, because children don't deserve a smart movie or a genuinely good movie. They deserve to be pay pigs for giant corporations. That's what children are to the Minecraft makers now, to Microsoft. This morning while I was having breakfast, I showed a Minecraft trailer. I did this because I told sneery old Jack and Ethan in Kotaku Slack I would promise to show it unprompted so I could report back his genuine reaction. When Infirmary Clone appeared on the radar, blah, blah, blah. Mostly because it was a secret alpha project, blah, blah, blah. I continue running. So let's see. Where is his genuine reaction? Posted about it. It was bare bones, game of survival. Heck, my birthday cake that I then now wife, aforementioned 9-year-old, was Minecraft themed. So I get it. There's a generation that feels like Minecraft belongs to them. It's not, and this I think where he misses the point. It's not about who Minecraft belongs to. It's what Minecraft is that people are pissed off about. Because there are people that want Minecraft to be the game that it is, the game that it's supposed to be, the sort of beautiful game that is Minecraft, versus the shilled hollow husk that just is a vehicle to charge people for DLC and microtransactions. They were in it. They ahead of the crowd, loved the game before its official launch in 2011. And certainly before it became one of the biggest franchises in the world, and Microsoft bought it for $2.5 billion. That colossal sale was 10 years ago. For 10 years, it's been one of the top grossing media franchises, clothing. Of course, they sort of made Minecraft what it is. Minecraft became what it is because it's a genuinely good game. A game that's sort of kind of slowly being ruined by Microsoft. But then you have this here. This sort of... Again, this looks okay, but it's not really Minecraft, it's sort of a mix of blocks. Rather than being like totally voxel based, they call it like mixels, where it's like different blocks made of different shapes. It doesn't quite look like Minecraft. It looks like, it's like a reinterpretation of Minecraft. And then he starts, talking about how his kid likes it. Well, anyway, he goes on to defend, it's not None of this raises above criticism. Minecraft movie might turn out absolutely dreadful. But he just excuses, like, it's just a kid's movie. Like, why are you being so critical about it? It's just meant for kids to enjoy. Kids can laugh at the, stupid joke about the sheep being dumb looking and screaming and having, cross-eyed. That's all in good fun. We don't need to worry about. Because the answer to that question rang out across the world, who is it even for? It's easy. It's for kids. It's designed to make kids happy. And you aren't a kid as much as you wish that weren't true. Yeah, that's exactly it. Minecraft, even if you still play it 17 hours a day, is for kids now. It's one of the biggest children's media franchises in existence. It's based on my incredibly scientific study of one super smart, super imaginative 9-year-old's reaction to the trailer. It's doing exactly what it should be. Well, this didn't go very well for poor old John Walker here. Yeah, article says the movie was created for children, but the wrong was actually created for investors. Even Daniel Ahmed, who is a giant liberal activist, realizes that it's wrong. Let's see, it's getting ratio pretty hard. So it only has 877 likes, almost 5,000 replies. And poor old John Walker had a bit of a meltdown afterwards. Here, so let's take a look at this. Of all the things I've written, hey, that Minecraft movie is aimed for young kids was not the one I figured would lead to a torrent of abuse and hate. But it turns out that it's actually because of something else. Star Wars The Acolyte. A thread on these idiots' logic. Yep. Yep, it's them who are idiots. Now watch in amazement at this literary judo that he performs as he takes the Star Wars movie and turns it into Star Wars The Acolyte. Then it reacted with a petulant strop. He's got to use big words here to reveal it. I'm smart, guys. I'm smart. The Minecraft movie trailer revealed a goofy kids film aimed at what is now Minecraft's core audience, under 12-year-olds. So I titled my article, Sorry the Minecraft movie isn't meant for you. It turns out this presses a button. When The Acolyte was out, the anti-woke fuckle nuts. Again, I can't curse, guys. All hated it because it had a black woman as its lead character, a diverse cast, and was written by a woman. Thus it was woke and had to be fought against. It was also, only okay, but it was, again, like, I didn't really like The Acolyte either, but, it wasn't the woman that was the problem. It didn't gain traction, it was canceled by Disney, so the fuckle nuts had a dilemma. Yelling, yeah, the show with a black woman was canceled was perhaps too on the nose. In fact, it's their shtick to work. They need these things to succeed to prove it's woke Disney. But then, again, this is supposed to be about the Minecraft article. But then they had an idea. When they shouted they hate it because it was DEI, because they're bigots. They were told they don't watch it. And when it failed, they decided it's because they didn't watch it. They did, in quotation. I guess not enough of them did. Became a new mantra. They, of course, a tiny number of loud idiots. But this became the line. Anything that doesn't succeed has failed because it's too inclusive for them to want to watch. It didn't just feature straight white men. No nuance, no facts, just their profound power. Again, liberal activists have to keep pushing this line. That, yeah, it's not because it's woke. It's not these white guys. These white guys are so deluded into thinking that everything succeeds, and it's the same thing that Paul Tassi was talking about earlier. They're just idiots. It's woke or not woke. It has nothing to do with the fact that men are the primary audience, and that if you don't, make a product, if your whole franchise is based off white men, as being the primary audience, and you don't actually create something they want to watch, that it's probably going to not do too well. That has nothing to do with it. It's just the fact that they're racist. Acolyte failed because it was woke, not because it was overly niche. Oh, is that the word we're going to go? Overly niche. Far too slow about some inconsequential characters. Conqueror failed because it had diverse characters, not because it was derivative entry years too late in a dying genre. They, after all, represent the silent majority of right-minded people who all hate diversity and just wish TVs and games could be all about normal, regular white men, like they always were before the good old days. They can never quite pinpoint. Apparently, we can't remember the good old days. Games weren't really diverse, or weren't really about white men. Actually, they weren't, but they actually, appealed to men back then. So when I used the headline, "Sorry, it's not meant for you," they all had a Pavlovian response and immediately responded with their new mantra. Yeah, well, when it fails, you'll be back to blaming us for not watching it because we're bigots, which is confusing here. Now, I love this line. Now, there's an unquestionable contingent of them who are responding to the Minecraft trailer based on purist Nazi-like racism. There's a black woman in it, so the characters are woke brigade. So I guess the keeps entering saw this a lot. This guy's a professional writer. Let's not discount the aspect of all of it because it's rife. But so many were simply reacting based on lizard brain instinct. Wait, there's a thing we say we're told something's not for us. Let's all say it. Yeah, they're all just idiots. That's why people are mad at me, which is hilarious when the reason they're being told it's not for them is because it's for children. Off the embarrassing nerdgasm of the mediocre looking Sonic 3. Oh my god, Shadow, my pants hurt. They had it in bold and all media should be made only for me or its sinful position. Again, this is about his bad Sonic or a Minecraft article. This plus the acolyte had led to a deranged response it received. So I found this interesting to track the logic behind these gargling dick wanglers. Oh wow, he's so creative with his insults, and their hilarious reaction to someone saying the movie trailer was enjoyed by a 9-year-old. Take a look at my mentions to see the small sample. Don't look at the Kotaku tweet. It's too depressing. Good old John Walker. What a soy boy here. Look at this face. Look at this face. And this is your modern day journalist right here. Oh my God! People didn't like my stupid article. They must be Nazis. It's just like the acolyte. They hated the acolyte because it had a black woman. They're gonna hate this because it also has a black woman. Which is the irony of it is like, yeah, a lot of times you see a black woman, you immediately know. Like they've poisoned the well. The diversity thing has sort of poisoned the well for any diversity now, because when you see a black woman, you just immediately know what their priorities are. And you immediately know you're not going to like the character because they just don't make diverse characters that are enjoyable for men. It's got to be like super bossy, some super bossy chick that's way too seriously, that's not fun at all. You just immediately know what's going to happen. It's hilarious that the diversity initiatives are just turning people off to women of color, just straight up. As you know, again, diversity has to include all of this. It has to include getting rid of sort of the gross stereotypes that men enjoy. But guys, that's it. I've been going for almost an hour and a half. Yeesh. So I'm wiped out. But I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't even get to. I knew I prepared too much, but I'll have content for next time to go over. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe, support the channel. We got to get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all for joining me. Good to see you, Marty, if you are real Marty. No, you're not real Marty. Get out of here, fake Marty. You are banned. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Really enjoyed all the tons of chatting. Very good. Very good. I didn't even get to say hi to all you guys. I apologize. I just had so much to talk about. But I'll see you next time. I'll link to Host Zero. I'm not going to be on it. I just have too much to do today, unfortunately. I got a new computer that I need to build for NVIDIA 480 Super video card. I couldn't afford the 190 because it's like $2,000. But new processor. Oh, the power. I had to be like Tim the Toolman Taylor, like whoa, 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 whoa. I'm looking forward to that, but I gotta get that going because I got a ton of boxes just sitting there. I need to check out and start building. I forgot to order my processor, so that's coming in on Wednesday. If I need to complete it, kind of an important part of the build, but that and some other stuff get all the clips going. So enjoy the Post Zero, and I'll touch you guys next week. Goodbye. God, I'm hungry.